Hi, I'm Phillips, European Tour winner and PGA coach, and in today's lesson I'm going to teach you guys how to square your club face really consistently, and we're going to learn from the one and only Sergio Garcia. Okay, why should we try and swing it like Sergio? Well, he's been one of the best ball strikers from tee to green for 20 solid years. His game never deteriorates from a ball striking perspective. Yes, sometimes the putter lets him down, but there's a reason for that. It's not just because he's incredibly gifted, he's actually got the laws of physics working for him. Now, I did a Sergio swing analysis last week actually on Sky Sports Golf for the Nedbank Challenge, where Sergio finished second. He was beaten by a brilliant round by Lee Westwood on the final day. And after I did that analysis, I thought, do you know what, there's a lot here that amateurs could benefit from, and that's why I'm going to pretty much repeat the lesson I gave on Sky to you guys here on this video. So before I get into Sergio's swing, I need to firstly explain a key movement that all humans need to make in order to hit the ball square on, and this is very important because it's part of why Sergio is so good. So if I get into a pre-impact position here, this is a sort of typical position that we nearly all get into, give or take, just prior to the club releasing into the ball. What we're going to see is my hand is facing the camera, toe of the club's pointing somewhat to the sky, and that means the face is open. Okay, now if I don't rotate that lead forearm from here into the ball, the club face is going to stay open. Okay, I must rotate the lead forearm. Forearm rotation is key if we're going to get square contact with the ball. Now, the reason that's important is there's been some really important biomechanical studies, specifically by a guy called Dr. Sergio Garcia, and he's found that we can actually help ourselves to square the club if we do some key things in transition. And guess what? Sergio does this more than anybody on the planet, so it's a huge reason why he hits the ball with such repetition and so solidly. So what does Sergio do? Well, what he does, as we can all see, everybody talks about it, is when he changes direction, he lays the shaft down, he drops the club, he shallows the club, however you want to say it. Sergio's shaft falls underneath the direction that his hand's moving. Now, the reason that's so key is Dr. Sergio Garcia has proven that the line that we pull the hands down on, we could call that the hand path, okay, is actually a force vector, okay? We're putting a force on the handle, and wherever there's a force, there's a reaction. And in this case, when we drop the center of gravity of the club below that force vector, the reaction is the club wants to catch up, if you like, and it quite literally is sort of catapulted under the laws of physics, okay? So it wants to get back to that hand line, and that makes it want to rotate square. Now, do we need to add a little bit in there physically as well? Yes, of course, but when we've got the laws of physics helping us, it's going to make life a lot easier. Now, I'm going to explain this in a bit more detail now in a slow motion analysis of Sergio, and then when we come back, I'm going to explain how you can work this into your game. Okay, so here we have Sergio at the top of his swing, and I'm going to mark where his hand position is, then track him down. You can see the hands have translated to here. I'm going to join those dots, and that represents a force vector. That's the force, or the line of force, that Sergio is applying to the grip. And we can see how much underneath that line of force the club is. Now, that creates what's called a moment arm, and that moment arm causes a torque, or a rotational force, which causes his club to be catapulted back to square at impact. We can see that beautifully here. So he's using the laws of physics. Now, we've got to notice how open his body is as well. We must open the body when we do that. If we drop the club under that line of force, we've got to open out the body, and that gets the club on a great plane. Okay, so hopefully you understand that now a little bit more clearly. There's a lot of science behind it, but don't be baffled by that. In layman terms, if we drop the shaft below the hands in transition, the laws of physics are going to help you square the club face. Just think about it as simply as that. Now, how can we work on this and get it into our own game? Well, the best way to do it is quite literally to make slow motion swings and teach your nervous system the feeling. It's much better to translate technique into feelings, okay? Associate it with a feeling of motion as opposed to sort of joining dots, if you like. So I always like to literally make a slow motion backswing all the way to the top as far as you can turn. It's going to be a bit shorter than if it was full speed. I'm particularly stiff as well, so when I make slow swings, my backswing's very short. Doesn't matter. Make a slow motion backswing and then just rehearse feeling the weight of the club. That's why I'm using a 3-wood here, because it feels a little bit heavier than an iron. And I'm quite literally sensing that I let the club just fall down. Okay, the club head itself, I'm feeling the weight of the head and I'm letting it fall. I'm using gravity, so I'm very soft in my hands. Now, this is really key. At the same time you feel the club falling, you must sense a tremendous opening of your pelvis and chest. So you're rotating the body towards the target. Now, the reason the body rotation is so important is if we just let the club fall and the body doesn't rotate and it's still facing straight on. So you can see I'm just keeping my body facing the camera here. Now, as I let the club fall, I'm now going to be very blocked out. My body's in the way, the club's too far behind me, and I'm going to hit everything way right, or I'm going to flip the hands and hook it. So it's got to be a combination. Slow backswing, drop the club and rotate. Now, it's quite a nice simultaneous motion, that, and you'll when you practice it, you'll see that it's not actually technically that difficult to do. It's quite a flowing sensation, and when the club falls, you'll feel like gravity is helping you. Now, what do most amateurs do? They do the opposite. They throw the club above the hand vector line, okay? Now, when the club goes above the hand vector line, now the laws of physics are working against you, because they're trying to get the club back under again, and look at what that does. It presents a way open face. So let the club fall behind you. Now, once you rehearse it, you'll start feeling, do you know what, this actually feels natural. It actually feels quite rightly like physics is helping you, and guess what? Physics is helping you. That's why it feels easy. So let the club fall, open the chest, open the hips, rehearse it like I am now, build that feeling into your body, then go ahead and just commit to doing one with a golf ball. Now, the key to practicing, and this is what most amateurs get wrong, is you're looking for instant gratification. You're looking, oh, if I feel this, the ball should immediately be a better shot, okay? Listen, you're doing something new. You've got to give it time to work in there. The most important thing that you must concentrate on when you do this is not where's the ball gone, it's actually improving your proprioception and awareness by asking yourself, hey, do you know what? Did I feel the club drop? Did I sense that I opened my body at the same time? Ask yourself those questions. Don't just look at the ball and say, oh, was it a good shot or a bad shot? You're not going to get anywhere practicing like that. Yes, ultimately we want the shots to be better, and they will get better, but only when you master the movement. So if you've got no awareness of the movement, don't expect the ball to suddenly improve its flight. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to rehearse it a few times slowly. So here we go. Slow backswing. Just rehearsing, feeling gravity, dropping the head. At the same time, I'm trying to feel masses of pelvic and chest rotation. Now I'm going to just see if I can sense the same things when I swing. I mean, I absolutely nailed that. That's irrelevant, but I've obviously done this for a long time. So the strike, as it happens, was great there, but what's more important, I was really focused on sensing the weight of the club falling behind me. I was trying to feel the club dropping into what almost felt horizontal. It won't get anywhere near that, but it felt like I let the club fall almost horizontally, and I really tried to exaggerate the opening of my body, so pelvis and chest feeling like they open towards the target line, okay? You cannot keep those static. They've got to open, otherwise you're going to get stuck. You're going to hit it straight right. So another way you can work on this is to get set up first. Then take your right hand away, make a slow swing with just your left arm. Now this will make it even more, your awareness of the weight of the club's obviously going to massively increase because it's heavy with one arm, right? So from there, again, get the shaft feeling fairly vertical in the backswing and literally just let it fall. Let the weight of the club fall behind you, and at the same time, feel your pelvis opening. So you're learning this simultaneous motion. Then put the right hand back on and do it again. So this is a process. This is you learning a new nervous system, a new motor pattern, and you've got to train it in slow motion, and then try a shot, then slow motion, then try a shot, all the time focusing only on your ability to execute that move and forget about ball flight in the beginning. The more you do it, you're going to see that ball improving over time. Be patient. Hope you're enjoying these videos. Head over to my website, incredible resource, say it in every video, but it really is, adding new material every week now, so that library is going to be getting bigger and bigger. There's already over 60 videos on there, and the difference between my site and other sites is that I actually talk about performance psychology from a real practical perspective. I've actually had to put this into play. I'm not a particularly physically talented guy, and I won at the highest level, and I did it mainly through psychological process, not physical talent. So that's what separates my site. There's real information about performance that's going to help you. Obviously there's all the technical stuff on there as well, and I'm a personal trainer, I'm a qualified gym instructor, and I put a lot of golf specific exercises on there as well. So head over there and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'm adding YouTube videos all the time as well. See you in the next video.